Yo, 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 it's your Barbie Can in the building, and if you're watching this, it's because you know what, P. Let's jump right into it. Pluto in the what? Third house. What does Pluto rule? War, peace, death, rebirth, regeneration, transformation, all the above. What is the zodiac ruler of the third house? Gemini. What does Gemini rule? Curiosity, impulsivity, the spontaneous mind. You want to get out, you want to do things, you want to have fun, you want to experience life, right? Now, what is the planetary ruler of Gemini? Mercury. What does Mercury rule? Communication, conveying information, intellectual ability, things of that nature. Let's jump right into it. So with this placement, you most likely have had or have struggled with peer-to-peer relationships, right? Or peer-to-peer dynamics, right? Social dynamics. Because you're used to living in your own mind. You're used to kind of doing your own thing, right? You have your own opinions. Even if you're more of a popular type, you still have your own opinions that you are solid in. And until you get information that contradicts that, and you actually understand and say, oh, okay, that's better information. That's better information than what I have right now in my psyche. You're not going to change that for anybody, right? But I'm going to get into that a little bit later, okay? Now, so for your childhood, it's a good chance that you had a lot of sibling rivalries going on, or you had probably at least one sibling that just annoyed the crap out of you. For some reason, y'all just did not get along. There was always friction with this person, and y'all know what I'm talking about. Or it may not have been this situation. It may have been a situation to where it was a family member or a sibling that you actually looked up to and was more of a mentor, was more of a protector to you. So you looked up to him. So it could be on either side of the spectrum. So it could be on one hand, you could have siblings that were emotionally abusive, physically abusive, all the abuses, or all of the above, right? Or you could have had a sibling who you looked up to and you wanted to be more like them, right? But give or take, it's no real, I would say in the middle. I'd say in the middle too as well. So you may have had, say for example, you may have had a family member who you did look up to, but they were still kind of annoying a little bit. So that kind of bothered you. You know what I mean? So it could go either way. It could be in the middle. It could be far to the left, far to the right, right? All right, let's continue. Let's talk about your strengths with Pluto in the third house. Any house, any placement that Pluto touches, Pluto is almost going to take over that placement. I'm just going to be honest with you. But you don't have to let it take over you. Understand what I just said, right? Okay, so number one, you guys are very curious. You have a very sharp mind, and people understand this about you. It's a certain, not only when you have what you have in Gemini in the third house, you have in Pluto. Pluto is already intense. People can understand this energy about you. I wouldn't even say they understand it. Not everybody understands it, but they do understand this. They understand that there's something intense about your character. Now, there's something intense about the way you think about things. It's something intense about the way you convey information. So it may come as a shock to other people when you say certain things that you believe in, right? You might scare little people. You may scare some people, or you may fascinate them, because Pluto deals with obsession too. But Pluto also deals with war, death, hate, anger, right? You like to look for the truth in situations. So if you have a certain idea about something and you have no evidence to refute that, you're going to stick to that. You're going to be stubborn with it. If you believe something, say for example, you're in a group with people and they're saying something they're talking about something that you know a lot about. You may start spewing out your opinions, and some people might be shocked. Oh, other people like, wow, this person is intelligent. But either way, you almost don't care, right? You're just, because you're so, this is Gemini. When Gemini knows a lot of things, when they know a lot of things, they kind of tie that to their ego. So you kind of tie this to your ego. And with Pluto being there, it's even more intense. You're like, listen, I know this. You can't tell me what I know. I don't care. And I would disregard any kind of evidence. I would disregard any kind of opinions that are not mine, right? So you're very strong, very, very, very strong. I want to push this home. You're very, very strong in your viewpoints. You're very strong. You're very headstrong when it comes to holding up your own viewpoints and ideals and philosophies about life. Nobody can just push you off your center like that. You're just very intelligent and you stand by it. That's that Pluto, though. That's that Pluto. Pluto definitely helps with that. All right. You're very eccentric in your viewpoints. So a lot of your viewpoints, again, they're not of the norm. So a lot of times you may come out and you may say something again, and it shocks other people. But other people are like, wow, this person is very, very intelligent, right? Even the people that don't like you, even the people that get shocked because of Pluto there, it's just, they get stabbed and they're, oh, you're good. You know, in the animes, when, you know, the good character gets attacked by the bad character, and he, instead of him like, I gotta kill you, he goes, oh my God, your power level's above 9,000. It's just, it's kind of like that. They're like, man, dang, this person's good, but I hate him. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now, you are a very persuasive communicator because of your level of intellect, and you add Pluto in there with the ability to shock people. You're able to manipulate people around to your way of thinking, right? Now, this could go, this is a double-edged sword, which I'm going to get into in a little bit, but you are able to be manipulative and pull other people to your way of thinking. A lot of cult leaders probably have this type of placement because you're able to sway people. You're able to kind of mess with their emotions, manipulate their emotions to get to, as a means to your ends, right? You can also be a good writer. You could be very good because, again, third house deals with communicating ideas, of conveying information. You could be, you're probably very, very good at putting your ideas onto paper and painting a picture to people, right? So it may be, I would argue that there are authors that like to write dark art, right? You know, there's this lady, she, I don't want to give her, I'm gonna say it. She does, it's called Zane's Chronicles, right? So she talks about, she probably has this placement. It's a good chance she has this placement. She talks about a lot of taboo subjects, like different belly bumping encounters, right? You know, humping, different encounters of that nature, right? And the way she paints a picture is just so, it's so vivid, and it just sparks your imagination if you're into that type of stuff, right? So there's that. All right. Very, very, very powerful when it comes to creating a picture with your words, right? People really can even if they don't understand what you're saying, when you explain it, when you paint a picture for them, it's just like it just opens their mind, right? Very, very powerful, innovative mind you have. You're willing to adopt different points of view as long as they make sense. Pluto is here, right? Now, this is again on the spectrum too, because on one end you could be a type of person, if this is harmoniously aspected in your chart, you could be the type of person that's, hey, I get an idea that could give me more information, and this, the idea that I had is not as good as this idea that somebody else has given me, or some information I've gotten, right? So I'm gonna take on this idea, right? And I'm gonna continue getting better. Or you could be on the other side, and you could be very stubborn in your opinions, and it takes literally for Pluto to come in and transform you. You have to go through negative lessons, negative karmic lessons, just to be able to change your viewpoint on things, right? Because you could be stubborn in that regard, right? You could be very stubborn in that regard. But again, double-edged sword, it's a good thing, but it can be your downfall. But awareness. Awareness, that's all it is. Awareness. This is a big thing. And I think a lot of people should learn this about you guys with this placement. You don't mind being solitary. You don't mind being by yourself. You don't mind doing things by yourself, right? Because you probably learned that from when you were a child. You weren't good in peer-to-peer conversations and things of that nature and those dynamics, right? And it forced you to kind of just do your own thing, right? To be in your own mind. And for better or for worse, right? You know, for better or for worse. But all in all, you learn to be by yourself. And you're comfortable there being by yourself. You know what I'm saying? So that's a beautiful thing about you. I wish a lot of people understood more about being willing to be alone is something that is a superpower. It is a superpower. And I will be doing a video about that really soon, right? By the way. Now let's go to the challenges. Back to the stubbornness. You can be stubborn when it comes to your views, and you can become very aggressive when you're defending yourself. Even when sometimes, majority of the times, people, I would say there are times when people are trying to attack your viewpoints, right? But I'm going to say this, you know, because you got to have accountability, right? Be honest with yourself. When you're giving out, when you're defending your points so aggressively, more often than not, people are not really attacking you in the way you think they are. It's just Pluto, that influence of war is just, it just hits you, right? It's like, I got it. Even if you have it harmoniously aspected to your chart or some other placement in your chart, you still kind of want to get your point across. So your passion may be seen to somebody else as you're angry. You know what I'm saying? Because you can also be very blunt when you state your opinion. So it could shock a lot of people in a way of like, dang, man, I was just talking about turtles, man. I didn't know 33,000 turtles die every year and we need to protect them and we need to look out for them. I'm sorry. I'm on your side. You know what I'm saying? But you might be like, oh, okay, my bad. I'm real passionate about turtles. You know what I'm saying? Or you could be on the other side like, no, you don't get it. And that's the problem. You know, calm down. Have awareness, right? It's okay. Everything ain't got to be turned into war. I know it's Pluto. Learn to temper that down, right? Now, again, you could be manipulative with your speech to get others to go around to your way, right? Just be aware of that. Be aware when you catch yourself, because you're so intelligent, but sometimes you can come off as a little bit overbearing to personalities that are a little bit more calm and level, right? So just be aware of that. You know what I'm saying? Just be aware of your I would say your tendency to manipulate others. It may be unconscious. You may be doing it and you don't even realize it. Doesn't make you a bad person, just is what it is. Awareness, right? You can be obsessed with whatever captures your mind at that moment. So this is for sure Pluto. You add Pluto and you add Gemini, curious mind, and Pluto's attention to detail and obsessiveness. Oh, you got a person that this could lead to your downfall. You could get so heavy into your thoughts and so heavy into what this person did or whatever thoughts you may be thinking about, like or some literature you read or some quote, you may be thinking about that so much that it just I wouldn't say drives you crazy, but you're not tuned in with life. You know what I mean? I went a little extreme, but it can go that extreme with Pluto, right? So just be aware of that. Be aware it's okay to have that focus and that drive, because Pluto helps you with that, to have that focus and drive, because Gemini wants to jump from one thing to another. Pluto helps you to be boom, this, right? Use it in a more practical sense, right? Be a little bit more practical in your approach. If you catch yourself just being obsessive about something, just catch yourself. It's awareness. Hey, I've been thinking about these doggone turtles for the past 2 weeks. I've been thinking about this conversation we had and they said I was doing too much and now I'm mad about it. You know what I mean? Just things of that nature, right? Or this literature I read, like I'm thinking about this quote that says I gotta do blah, blah. You know what I mean? Calm down. Have awareness. Okay? You may believe people just don't understand you, which could cause you to feel alienated. Understand that comes from childhood conditioning, right? In your childhood, there's a good chance that a lot of people kind of pushed you away because they felt like you were kind of weird or you were not normal, quote unquote, right? Take some awareness and understand where that's coming from. It's all about perspective, right? I understand it may hurt. It may hurt when you feel like you just want to be your own self, right? You have all these ideas. You're so intelligent. You're so innovative in your mind, so eccentric in your thoughts. You can help change the world with this mind that you have. It's powerful. But a lot of times when you're a child, children don't understand, so they mess with you. Even now as an adult, you probably like, man, I have so much to give, but I feel like people just don't respect my mind. They don't respect what I have to say. Change your perspective of these things. Some people are just not meant to get it until they're supposed to get it. But some people just ain't gonna never get it. Be around your people. Which brings me to my next point. Tips. I want you to open up to others you can trust. Find somebody that you can trust. Find somebody that understands you truly. I'm not saying talk to everybody, but I'm saying find 1, 2 people that you can trust. You don't need a whole bunch of people, but find somebody that you can confide in, right? That you can put that Pluto energy on, you know, and they can understand you, right? You may be good to have somebody who is a little bit more grounded, right? A little bit more, just kind of like more Taurus placements, right? Somebody who's a little bit more, I can take this, I can handle that intensity that you have. You know what I mean? They have Taurus and they have some Scorpio placements, some Pluto placements. They understand where you're coming from, right? Go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated. Period. All right. Channel that Pluto energy, that energy of Gemini that's curious, that's innovative, that wants to learn more. Channel that into art. If you're into, 9 times out of 10, you're into taboos, you're into occult, you're into the more of the darker subjects, you're into more of the stuff people don't want to talk about, death, taxes, things of that nature. Tap into that. Put your energy into that and not into what other people are thinking about you, not into feeling alienated because people who don't really know themselves are judging you. Nah, done. Tap into yourself. You got it. You got it. Also, tap into your psyche. What motivates you? What motivates you? What keeps you, what are your motives? Again, a lot of this stuff came from your childhood. So examine your motives. And you do that with what? Meditation. Learn to meditate at least 3 to 5 times. Sorry about that. Not 3 to 5 times. 3 to 5 minutes a day. My bad, y'all. 3 to 5 minutes a day. Meditate. And that will allow you to calm that mind down. And you especially need it with this placement because you could be all over the place sometimes. But you are powerful beyond measure, I'm telling you. This placement, if you learn to temper yourself down, you can help change the world. You can help heal a lot of people. Not only will you heal yourself, but you heal a lot of other people with your mind. There's a lot of people with Pluto placements that feel like they probably they don't know how to channel that. Get on some type of platform, do something that you like, by the way, that is able to pull that energy out of them to help them be inspired to do something for them, and which will in turn help other people. It's a domino effect, baby. Get to work. Yeah. But no, man. I hope I helped y'all out. If you watch this all the way, it's because you're not a Pee-wee Pluto in the 3rd house, man. I hope I gave y'all some keys to go off of, so you can open up a lot of doors inside yourself and your psyche and your spirit. Keep growing. Let's keep going. Let's tap in, man. I love y'all so much, man. You got this. Don't let any placement, no matter what placement you have, don't let anything, any challenges or whatever may have you from any placement that you have. 'Cause I know a lot of these placements can be tough. This is a kind of a tough placement. Any placement that is hit with Pluto is tough because it requires you. Pluto is going to be constantly causing you to probe. It's intense. But don't get down on yourself. You are so intelligent. You are so dope. And you are so worth it. And remember, you ain't got to fix nothing about you because nothing about you is broken. Heal. Examine that psyche. Do the meditation. Examine it. And you will definitely get to where you want to go. I love you. Shabar Buchanan building. I'm out.